What a terrible way to ring in the new year in New Orleans. The suspect identified in the deadly New Orleans attack was a current Houston resident, according to multiple records. According to the FBI, he was a 42-year-old Shamsin Din Jabbar, I guess that's how you say it, this pathetic person's name, was driving a Ford pickup truck when he plowed through a Bourbon Street, killing 10 and injuring dozens more, at least 30. The trucks to have been the truck has been appeared to be rented out of Texas with Texas license plates. The FBI said the ISIS flag was located in the vehicle, and they are working to determine if the suspect was potentially associated or affiliation with terrorism organizations, which he probably is. Weapons and potential IEDs were located in the vehicle, as well as potential IEDs were located in the French Quarter. So was he working with somebody else? What do they mean by located in other areas in the French Quarter? A man connected to the truck used in the deadly attack on Bourbon Street earlier New Year's Day has confirmed that the vehicle had been rented via an app. And that's interesting. The truck is used in the earlier morning attack, had a Texas license plate, and a man who would not identify himself as a Pasadena address connected to the license plate did not answer questions when approached by KHOU 11 News. He only confirmed that the vehicle had been rented out. So I'm sure they're going to really investigate the guy who rented him the vehicle. According to the FBI, the attacker is being investigated as a terrorist. Yeah. At least 10 people are dead and dozens more are injured. Jabbar was killed by police after executing a multiple staged attack on Bourbon Street earlier New Year's Eve. It was late in the night. He drove a pickup truck into the crowd at 3:15 a.m., shot 2 responding officers, and was fatally wounded in the ensuing gunfire. So this gives a whole new... I didn't go nowhere last night, folks. I stayed home. I stayed home. I was watching television or whatever, enjoying the evening, and went to bed. It kind of makes you not want to go to any crowds or anything. And thank goodness, I mean, nothing happened in Times Square because they were packed too. NOPD Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick described the attack as deliberate attempt to harm as many people as possible, obviously. People also discovered an improvised explosion device at the scene, though its vulnerability has not been released to the public. So we don't know. So he was going to blow up some people. The FBI has taken the lead on the investigation, classifying it as terrorism. The attack resulted in 10 fatalities. We also have reports that the 42-year-old Texan was a native with a military background. Apparently, he had served in the military for decades. We have a 41-second video of the truck ramming the people. Warning, this is distressing content. So if you do not wish to see this, please fast forward. Here's the truck. Oh, God. In that video, the EV Ford F-150 Lightning truck immediately accelerated once Jabbar made the turn and tore straight down Bourbon Street. The truck's tires audibly skidded against the pavement as it ripped right by a police vehicle and slammed into passerbys gathering onto the street corner. It's just incredible. It's amazing. Oh my God. it's a good thing that the police were right there. Sirens sounded as soon as police began their pursuit. He made it nearly 2 blocks before slamming into a crane parked in the middle of the street. Jabbar was then killed in gunshot. Wow. I guess in some of these, if anything, just as forethought, that maybe they should have blocked off streets. There shouldn't have been any traffic flow. Maybe next year they will do that where people are going to gather. They need to block off where either there's parking areas or certain areas where businesses are. I don't know how they can enforce that. I guess they could. Considering what happened here, just a thought. I do have some news footage here. They do interview a eyewitness.
Here before firing shots into the crowd. 2 police officers were hit by gunfire and rushed to the hospital. As you just heard Michael George say, they are in stable condition. CBS News has learned the suspect is dead, apparently shot and killed by police. The city's mayor referred to this as a likely terrorist attack, and the FBI is now saying it is investigating it as terrorism. I want to go ahead and play some of what we heard from a witness at the scene.
It was traveling at a very high rate of speed, and so we were in the middle of the road and managed to run off the road onto the sidewalk and into the doorway of a building for cover. We did hear gunfire, saw police running that direction. We stayed in the alcove until the gunfire stopped, came out into the street, and came across several people who had been hit. Wanted to see what we could do to help and administer any first aid. The people we came across were unfortunately deceased.
I want to bring in CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane, who is following all this from our D.C. bureau. Scott, we did get an update from North.
Can you imagine being there? My God. Those people were scared to death.
Orleans police reiterating this happened about 3:17 a.m. Local time. 10 victims declared deceased on the scene. 35 additional victims suffering injuries. Also saying that once that vehicle came to a stop, the suspect reportedly opened fire on responding officers who returned fire. What else are you following? What are some other?
He plowed into a crane that was in the middle of the street and then jumped out of his car and just started shooting. I guess he figured he knew it was a kamikaze mission. And was somebody working with him? They said they found explosives other places in the French Quarter and in his vehicle. If the guy has a phone on him, I'm sure, unless it's one of those burner phones, and who knows, but they're going to run a check on him.
Their headlines.
Yeah, as we begin the 10 a.m. hour in New Orleans, here are the latest top lines. The suspected attacker is dead, according to our latest CBS News reporting. Also, not just a vehicular attack under investigation here, but also a long gun has been recovered from the scene, which would be a different variable we haven't seen in some of the more recent vehicular attacks elsewhere in the world, including the one in Germany that was fatal on December 21st. We also know from our CBS News reporting the FBI is lead on this investigation. They typically are. In fact, they always are when there's a potential terrorism connection. The FBI takes lead on that. There was some equivocation during a morning news briefing between the mayor and an assistant special agent in charge at the FBI field office there in New Orleans about whether this was a terror-related incident. We know the FBI takes lead on potential terrorism investigations. We also can expect this is going to change some of the security planning, or at least change how the security plans are articulated for tonight's Sugar Bowl in New Orleans and next month's Super Bowl in New Orleans, but also all the many heavy pedestrian events expected across America today, this New Year's holiday, and in the coming days. Heavy pedestrian events expected, among other places, here in Washington, site of the inauguration, January 20th.
I do believe we have a statement from the Sugar Bowl. We're going to put it up on the screen, and I'm going to read it at the same time as
Well, they need to
all of you. The state.
They need to take precautions, especially during the inauguration and all of this, and then in future gatherings such as this. Like I said, either they need to block off those streets next year in New Orleans if they're going to have this type of gathering. It's just a shame. It's just a shame. And it is a terrorist attack. He mowed down these people. He had IED crap in his car. He has an ISIS flag. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say, yeah, this guy has a problem and he is a terrorist. So the incident in Germany does sound similar to this. I mean, this is a way for, I guess, terrorists with a low budget can wreak havoc on people. And here's some aftermath footage of New Orleans attack last night.
Scott, what more are we learning here from law enforcement officials about what else they are investigating at this time? And we were told that possible improvised explosives were found nearby, but unclear if they were related. Any more information that we have about that?
Now, among the first priorities for law enforcement here, Lindsay, is to see if there are other people somehow connected to this attack.
Right.
Were there co-conspirators, others who may have been parts of plotting?
Well, that's just completely obvious. Well, it does seem to be the German attack and this attack. They had I'd read that they think it might be like a copycat. My guess is it's not a copycat. I think maybe they might be linked. I don't know. I don't think that's too far fetched to say that this is a way that they can do this and wreak havoc and cause problems, because maybe there's other things going on to distract us. I don't know. It's just a working theory. We also have breaking news: Trump hotel fire in Las Vegas. Here's some shots from that area. Police block off the area after a vehicle caught fire and exploded outside the lobby of President-elect Donald Trump's hotel Wednesday. One person is dead and seven more injured Wednesday when a Tesla truck caught fire and exploded outside President Donald Trump's Las Vegas hotel. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police and Clark County Fire Department officials said at news conference that a person died inside the vehicle and that they were working to get to their body. My goodness. Another 7 nearby people received minor injuries and taken to a hospital for treatment. A county spokesman said in a statement that the fire in the vet area of the Trump International Hotel, Las Vegas, was reported at 8:40 a.m. There was no cause given for details and were sketchy. So they are investigating this. It doesn't look like it's anything nefarious going on here. Eric Trump, a son of the president-elect, executive vice president of the Trump Organization, posted about the fire on social media on platform X, formerly known as Twitter. He praised the fire department and local law enforcement for their swift and response professionalism. The 64-story hotel is just off the famed Las Vegas Strip and across the street from the fashion show Las Vegas Shopping Mall. So that really, there's nothing terrorism so far that has to do with any of that. Our prayers go out to the families of those lost early this morning in the New Year's Eve terrorist tragedy, and we'll pray for their loss. We're so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was shocking to wake up and see this morning. And guys, be safe out there. Thank you for watching.